Hello students, welcome back into the another session of content management system using WordPress. Lastly, we are discussing about the anatomy of default WordPress themes which is provided by content management system using WordPress and WordPress tool. At the time of installation, we have seen a few sections, few files in that particular theme. As we know that the activated theme right now that we have is 2016. Into the 2016 folder which is available into the WP content theme as a subfolder, we have gone through the two files that is called as index.php and header.php. Now we will go for another sections, another files which works jointly for executing this particular template onto the browser. So next file of discussion is sidebar.php. This sidebar.php file executes a given sidebar onto the screen, which you can see over the right hand side. In the sidebar, sections are given: search, recent post, recent comments, archives, categories, and the meta tag. So this is the portion which shows a sidebar onto the screen. So that would be displayed using this simple line of code, where the first part is just a comment section which we have already discussed in index.php as well as into the header.php. The main, or we can say the core part, get executed with the help of these 5 logical lines. The first line is there is a starting of PHP, and one decision making statement is given over here, that is called as if. Into the brackets there is a one function is written, is underscore active underscore sidebar, and its parametric value is passed into this round brackets. So there is a specific purpose of this particular function which is called as is underscore active underscore sidebar. It is actually a Boolean function which checks that given sidebar is active or not. If the given sidebar is active, then this Boolean function will return true, otherwise it returns false. So into the brackets for is underscore active underscore sidebar, I have passed a parametric value into the single inverted comma, that is the name of my sidebar, given as a sidebar dash 1. Then a one static line is written over here which comes from the HTML itself. In that static line, a side ID equals to into the double inverted comma secondary class equals to, in double inverted comma, sidebar space widgets dash area, which is related with the widgets area of a sidebar. If you remember, then whenever we get activated any widgets, then it will be displayed onto the right side into the bottom of sidebar. That is to be done using this particular logical line. And the last one is given as a role, which shows the complementary, means if the widget gets activated by the user, then and then it will display, otherwise it put a empty space after the completion of sidebar area. Now it might possible that into the theme on a right hand side, which is the part of sidebar, there might be a dynamic sidebars. Dynamic sidebar means these are the sidebars which might be visible at the fraction of time and it get invisible once the work gets completed. It is just like showing a pop-up whenever the message comes from the admin side. So suppose you want to display that type of sidebar, then it can be displayed using the function called dynamic underscore sidebar and by passing the parametric value, which is similar like for checking the sidebar is active or not, that is sidebar dash 1. Once all this line gets completed with the completion of static part also, this PHP tag enclosed with end if statement, because we have started checking the sidebar by the if statement, so it should be get completed over here. So this entire line of code works for displaying the sidebar over the theme. Students, it is not at all compulsory to have a sidebar into the theme. It depends onto the requirement of project that you are implementing or the practical in which you works, and according to that we need to go for sidebar.php. If it is not compulsory to have this sidebar in a project, then you can ignore writing the line of code for the same. Right now the theme that we are using for the learning purpose is a standard theme which is designed by the professionals, so they have included sidebar.php for the prescribed theme. Now after this, into the sidebar you can see that there is a search facility which can search for the specific type of content from the entire given theme. So that could be implemented by writing a line of code into the file which is called as search.php. So let's open that particular file and let's see what is written inside that particular search.php file. So here I have opened search.php. Into the search.php, again the header gets called over here by writing the function called get underscore header. Then few static lines are given which calls for the CSS class called content area and site main. Then it will check for the post or the number of posts are available into the WordPress or not by firing the function called have underscore post. So students, this is another function which is very important for all of us, that is called as have underscore post. Have underscore post is again a one inbuilt advanced PHP function which is a boolean function, checks for the number of posts and its availability into the listing of posts. That means if I have created a single post or the multiple post, then this particular function will return a positive result, otherwise it returns a negative result, or you can say it returns true if it counts the number of posts, and if it returns false, then there is no number of posts available into the entire listing. Say for example, for the current situation, there are two posts are available, that is test and the test one. So this particular condition is true. Now let's move on. Next line of code is header class equals to page header. There is an h1 tag which calls for page title is a one CSS. This h1 works with displaying this particular title of the post in h1 tag. Then there is a usage of special function which is called as printf. Into the printf statement, I have constructed a one text that is called as into the single inverted comma search result for percentage as 2016. That means it displays how many number of posts are relevantly founded for this particular search facility. Say for example, suppose here I am writing test and pressing a search button, then it displays all the posts which starts with test. Suppose I am giving a specific file of content, say for example test1, then it will return a result for test1 is a single test result, that is test1 available over here. So this search result for percentage as 2016 gives a result over here. Then after the successful completion of search, before going ahead, I would like to share something more advanced related to the search. In our field, there are basically two types of searchings are there. One is a simple search and another is a binary search. There is a vast difference between a simple search and the binary search. The detail about all these two concepts we have already learned into the data structure, but right now I am just referring with the short statements. Into the simple search, the search contents get compared with entire all the data which might be given a slower result onto the screen. That is called as simple search. Say for example, suppose I have a data like this: MBM College Rajkot BCA and semester 2. Now suppose in these 5 words I am searching for M. Then what it does into the simple search, it takes this first word and it compares this M with the first character of the first word, that is M. Then it compares this M with V also. Again it compares M with the third word also, and this repetition will be done for all the words, and finally it returns the result. So whatever the result comes over here might be slow in a nature, because it is going to be compared with all the words and all the characters. So that is called as a simple search. what happens into the binary search? Into the binary search, data will be directly searched for the specific value into the destination. So binary search becomes more faster than the simple search. The company like Google, who provides the best search engine into the world, use the binary search technique for searching the relevant contents from its own database. So in WordPress, even this type of function will use binary search techniques. Now, we will not go more in detail about this, because just we are introducing the anatomy of the theme. In next lectures, in next unit, whenever we develop our own theme, at that time we'll discuss in detail. So the next one is actually a one loop called while loop. Before this while loop, there is a one decision making statement if checks that is there any post available or not. If the post is not available, then this while loop is not going to be repeated. But if the post is available, that means the value of this if statement becomes true. Then and then this particular loop gets executed. Why I have written a loop over here? Because in my listing of the post, there might be a possibility multiple number of posts are available, and to display multiple number of posts, we need to go for loop, because loop repeats till the condition is true and it displays relevant contents onto the screen. So for that, here I have written while into the bracket have underscore post. That means if the posts are available, it will guess all the post by writing the function called the underscore post. What is the purpose of this particular looping control statement? This looping control statement will display all the posts onto the screen if it is in a multiple format. So this loop gets executed. This is the starting of loop, and this statement is actually the termination of loop. So this entire portion get repeats for the number of posts. During the repetition of entire loop, there is an function given get underscore template underscore part, which gets the template part from the function called search. So means whenever we have written the name of post and press the search button, if this test one is available for the multiple number of times, then all that particular number of posts will be displayed over here using this particular value. Now, it might possible that into the returned result of the search, it contains multiple number of pages, multiple number of contents which cannot be fit into the single page. So pagination should be given for the given number of posts. That means if you see the Google search engine, say for example over here I am opening a Google website, and suppose I am typing MBM college, and say for example I am pressing enter button. Just go down. Here you will find first, second, third, fourth, fifth, up to 10, then next also. Means there is a limitation of this particular page. It is going to be displayed that type of data, then after it will add the pagination. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on, which you can see onto the screen, actually are called as paginations, or also called as navigation. So that navigation are of two type: a previous page navigation and the next page navigation. Say for example, right now I am on the first page. Suppose I am moving on to the next page. That means right now I am on to the second page. This is called as next. Now suppose from the second page I am moving into the first page, then it is called as previous. So same facility is also given over here by declaring and using the two most important functions of WordPress for the pagination, that is previous page and the next page. So same will be displayed for our number of posts if it get exist from this line of code. Just try to do one thing. Here right now I have created 2 posts. Try to create 20 posts with a small description. Here into the last, automatically you will get the pagination just like this one, and you can browse from one page to another page. So that is called as previous and next page navigation for the content management system using WordPress. This is actually the option. If all these things are available, then it works very fine. Otherwise, this else is actually related to the decision making statement called if, which is given into the previous line of code. If all the conditions, if the condition is false, then it executes this else statement and it will display none onto the screen, but your header, sidebar and the footer remain same. For example, suppose here I am writing some post like MVM which I have never created. It is not available into the listing of post, and I am pressing search button. Then what it displays? Nothing found. Sorry, but nothing match your search terms. Please try again with some different keywords. And it returns a bigger text box over here, but my header, my sidebar and my footer remains as it is. That is because of this else statement. And at last it gets completed, and these two line of code will display get underscore sidebar for displaying the right-handed sidebar, and get underscore footer for displaying the bottom of the website, which is called as MBM College of Commerce Management and IT / whatever the text is written. So this was all about the functionality called search, which is given into the sidebar at the topmost corner over the right hand side. Now let's move on for the another concept. That is called as footer.php. This footer.php will work only for the bottom part of the entire theme, that is called as a footer theme. In our existing theme, there is a two line of footer is given. One is the name of our college. Actually, this is the site identity of the theme that we have created, and then after slash some nice line of code I have given that will be displayed using the file that is called as footer.php. So in footer.php, after the commented section, a footer ID is given, which is actually the one CSS which calls from the CSS folder of entire theme, calls the class that is called as site dash footer. Then it will check for the navigation menu, either that navigation menu is primary or secondary. If any menus are given into the footer, then this line of code will display the same onto the screen. But unfortunately, right now we have not given any type of menu into the footer. Generally, the menus are given into the header, so it will display nothing onto the screen. Now, into the footer, generally these are the specialized portion where there should be an existence of quick access information should be there. For example, for our college website, the footer that I have given is this one. This is the footer area where there is a complete address of our college. Quick resources link are given like MVM virtual tour, alumni, apply now, frequently asked questions, social links. There is a name of myself, then the quick links that I have kept as a home, course, events, blog, feedback and contact. That could be done in WordPress by this line of code that is called as displaying the social contents. That social contents with the logo and its hyperlink should be displayed. As you can see on our website, right now I have given the link of two social sites, that is one for Facebook. Whenever we click on any of the social link like YouTube, it will redirect directly from our website to the official YouTube channel of MGM College of Commerce Management and IT. So that could be done using this particular line of code. Then there is a site info. That site info is actually a one type of action which displays the user's information with home directory. Here you can see that there is a line of code proudly powered by $s percentage s 2016 WordPress. This line of code is displayed over here, and before that, that means before this slash, the site title is given, that is MVM College of Commerce Management and IT. So this will display the site title first, then it gives the slash, and then it will give the blog name. The name of blog is proudly powered by 2016 WordPress, which is written over here. So this will display a footer onto the screen. Now, before going ahead, let's fastly revise that which are the files that we have discussed. First, we have gone through the index.php, then we go for sidebar.php, then we go for search.php, then we go for header.php, then we go for footer.php. So 5 to 6 different types of files we have discussed into the standard theme, which is professionally designed by the developers. Still, some of the files are pending that we are going to have a short look for each and every file into the another sessions where it demonstrates the exact functionality of the same for a specific type of files. Still we have some more time, so we can take another file also. So let's talk about comments.php. This comments.php file is related with the displaying the number of comments which is given by the users for a specific post. For the specific post, say for example, what I want to say, where this comment.php works. This comment.php works whenever you leave a comment for the specific number of posts. For example, suppose I am clicking on this particular leave a comment, it opens that post with description, with the name of author. Here you have to give the comment. This is for the practical purpose. And whenever you click on post comment for test 1, that comment will be recorded from this client and it will be displayed on server side. So over here at the server side, you can see one post came in today's date, that is 21/7/2020. Whenever we click on this particular comment, it shows your comment onto the server side. So this entire functionality works by writing the line of code into the comments.php file. So into the comments.php file, first it will check for the authorization access of a particular post. That means a owner of the post can have a password protection while they have created the number of posts. Might possible that they can create a post with the password and it shares the same password with the number of clients. That client, first they have to enter that particular password, and after that they can give their valuable comments for that particular post. So this selected line of code is for the same. Then after, if nothing authenticated content is given over there, then simply by clicking on leaving a comment, they can go ahead for this line of code where it checks that is there any already predefined comments are available or not. If predefined comments are already present, then it will increment the number of counter for the given number of posts. Now that counter will get, using this particular function get underscore comment underscore number. I am talking about the number which you can see into the comment section over here. Right now it is 1. Say for example, again I am leaving another comments. Right now I am writing, this is comment number 2, and I am pressing the post button. Into the listing of comments, instead of this 1, there is a 2. That means right now there are 2 different types of comments are there into the post called test1. So this could works by executing the function called get underscore comments underscore number. There is a special checking over there. If the single comment is there, that means if this condition is true, then it brought up into the top part of the entire listing of the post that is given into the WordPress. But if the multiple comments are there for the same post, then it could be differentiated into the each and every separate sections. So as you can see over here, the first comment that I have given is, this is for the practical purpose, that is my comment number 1, and this is comment number 2 which is given as a second comment. So there are 2 different types of comment you can see into the listing of the entire table that can be displayed using this particular printf statement. Now into the comments there might be a navigations. That means you can browse each and every comments one by one separately. That could be done using this particular line of code or the function called the underscore comment underscore navigation. Now once the comment is received from the user side, at the admin side there might be a 2 option is given. One is to approve the comment and another is to unapprove the comments. Suppose I press unapprove the comment, then that particular comment gets unapproved from the admin side to the client side. Then it would be justified using this line of code, and at last whatever the manipulation is done from the admin side will reflect to the client side. Suppose I am refreshing the entire content, then over here you can see that what are the comments which is get approved by the administrator and what are the comments which is rejected by the administrator. So that is the purpose of executing the comments from client side to the server side, as well as returning from server side to admin side. So I hope this tolerance level is enough for today. We will go for another discussion into the next lecture. Have a nice day and thank you very much.